Welcome to the Unlock Wellness Podcast. I'm Dr. Casey. Super excited for today's guest, Geoff Stults. Geoff is an extremely talented actor. You may recognize him from movies like Wedding Crashers, The Breakup, She's Out of My League, as well as TV shows like October Road and Seventh Heaven. And not only is Geoff a talented actor, but he's also a triathlete and is passionate about training and staying healthy even with his crazy busy schedule. So Geoff, thank you so much for coming on the show. I know you're a busy guy, so I'm honored that you took the time to come on here with me.
Well, thank you for having me. Yes, I just want to be clear about this. I'm not passionate about triathlons. I hate them. I only like it when they're over. But I kind of got into them because I got asked to be a part of a fundraising effort for St. Jude Children's Hospital. And that's the first time I did one. And I was like, oh, I hate these, but it's something I just have to do as a matter of fact, every year when they come up, I usually try to do 2 a year, one in September and one in April. And every time I go out of my way to try to book a job out of town. So I'm not available and it just never works out.
Yeah, that's cool. And, before we get going too, I want to give Rebecca Soni a quick shout out. Rebecca is an Olympic swimmer. She was a guest on this podcast on episode 5. And if you haven't checked out her episode yet, go back and listen. But she's amazing and doing some great work. But Rebecca's the one that connected me with Geoff. So I'm super appreciative of that. But, and I know we were talking before we started recording and you guys have actually done triathlons with each other. Were those in Los Angeles too?
Yeah, in Malibu.
Oh, Malibu? That's cool. Yeah. No, but she's so awesome though.
She is.
Yeah, but Geoff, why don't you start with your backstory a little bit so people get to know you a little bit more and understand kind of your health and fitness journey and what led you to triathlons. I know you said you got started for charity, but were you always like athletic growing up?
Yeah, my brother and I grew up in the mountains in Colorado, and we were both active kids, as you have to be if you're in the mountains, really. We were both multi-sport athletes, football and basketball and track and baseball for me, and football and wrestling and track for my brother. It's kind of what you did up in the mountains. It was like built-in daycare for our parents when you were younger. It was like right. they needed us to be in an after-school sport just to keep us out of trouble. Yeah,
that's cool. And when did you start acting? Was that more like in college?
No, it wasn't until after we graduated from college, and we went to school at a small school in California called Witter. I went there for 4 years, and then my brother transferred in after he redshirted as a freshman in college and wrestled for 4 years, and had another year left and was done wrestling. And he was like, "I'm done. I'm over the wrestling part. Let's." And then he transferred out, and we graduated together, and we just kind of. Our path, we didn't think we had end up being actors. It just it's something that I wanted to do actually. And I kind of pushed my brother into it in a way. And then we realized years later that we've never had real jobs and we have to stay doing this.
Gotcha. So did you guys do any type of endurance sports, like whenever you guys were growing up, or mainly just like the basics, like you said, like wrestling and football and that kind of thing?
Yeah, no, nothing endurance wise. I mean, he sort of did in his wrestling training, but we did just a lot of we live up the mountains. So before we were old enough to drive motorcycles and cars, we had to ride our bikes for. Right. It was just like normal living. We would have to ride miles and miles to get to the next town to play with our friends, and that's just kind of we started off on little BMX bikes, and then got mountain bikes, and then that's the kind of stuff that we just did.
Right, just that constantly staying active. And I've been to Colorado a few times. It's beautiful, and I know that's one of the most active states, I think, or one of the most healthiest states. I'm sure that that's just normal for you guys.
It was, yeah. What certainly was for us.
Yeah, and I know you were saying that you had some friends that kind of pulled you to the triathlon scene, or did you pull them in, I guess? Because I know you said you were doing it for charity. Like, what kind of support did you have when you were just getting started?
No, none. Nobody that I knew what it was. And
right.
Now I've roped a bunch of people.
Yeah. I'm sure they love that.
Yeah, but they've gotten into it now.
Yeah. Does your brother do them too?
No, he thinks I'm an idiot.
You can't peer pressure him into doing it?
No,
No?
he thinks it's crazy.
That's funny. And like, what motivates you to keep up with the training? Because, I mean, with somebody that, I mean, I know that you're extremely busy with your schedule. Like, what keeps you motivated with that and just keeps your drive? Because obviously, you said you hate them, but, it's that feeling afterwards. It's that atmosphere that you get when you're in that environment. So what just helps you keep that drive?
If you don't train at least minimally, you just can't compete, and it's just that much more difficult and more painful. So like the motivation is to not be as in pain on the day.
Right. And I mean, and not injure yourself. That's always a good thing.
Yeah. And as you get older, I mean, I'm 40 years old now. As you get older, you have to, the injury, you don't bounce back as quickly. You got to take more care of your body. It's like, you just have to pay attention. Aches and pains are an everyday deal. They're part of it.
Yeah. I mean, what's been the hardest thing for you about training and like the actual race itself?
Running. I hate running. I hate it.
Yeah. So probably biking's easiest for you then, because you were saying you biked a lot.
It's the swimming part I enjoy the most.
Yeah. You think that's because that's the first event, or it just comes natural to you?
It's just the furthest away from the running, I think.
before the legs turn into jello.
Yeah.
Yeah. What have you think that you have learned the most about yourself through all of this? Because you have to push yourself to, a level of uncomfort and, past your comfort zone.
Yeah. I mean, it's silly. And these are small triathlons, and there are people that do incredible things and train for real
like Ironman.
I mean,
those are insane.
That's just the lifestyle it requires, the training that requires is I don't have that, and I've got a lot of respect for those people. But you learn how to. Your mind can do. I mean, your body will do what your mind tells it to do.
Exactly.
And there's so many times you want to quit, and you're like, "What am I doing this for? I'm not getting paid for this. This is stupid. I already raised the money for the charity. Like, well, just walk, And then you see somebody who is and I forgive me if I have the wrong term, but a challenged athlete, and you see somebody has lost a leg or lost an arm or lost both legs, or there's just a million different versions of that, and you see them kicking ass and just competing, and it's so inspirational when you see that happening.
Right.
And, I have no qualms about the the first one I did, I got passed by a guy with no legs on the, and you're like, holy, how does that even happen?
Right.
And now I'm like, they work that much harder, and they figure it out, and I think it's incredible.
And their mindset level too. It's just a whole nother level as well. It just puts things into perspective. I mean, how blessed you are and how far you can really push yourself.
Totally.
Yeah. So I know you were saying you do 2 races a year, right? So when's the next one for you?
September.
Where's that one at?
Malibu.
Gotcha. Do you only do the ones that are in California?
No, I usually do one in Miami, one in Malibu.
That's cool.
And then sometimes I'll do one here in Hermosa Beach.
Nice. How's the one in Miami?
It's hot.
Is it hot? Is that what? I guess that one's the one in April then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm a few hours away. I'm tempted to sign up. If you're 100% going to do it, I might have to show up and race.
I'm 100% going to do it. You should do it. Let me know. I'll sign you up.
Oh, perfect. Okay. It's perfect because I've really wanted to do one for a long time. It's funny because a few years ago I did a half marathon, and it was really hard, but it was, it's a cool feeling. You go for that atmosphere, that feeling afterwards, like you were saying. But my goal that year was to do a half, and then to do a sprint triathlon like a few months later. So I finished the half, and then a few weeks later I found out that I was pregnant. So obviously that kind of canceled me out for the training. I was pretty sick those first few months, but I always told myself that I was going to jump back in and eventually do one. So, I'll definitely, I'll reach out and get there for sure.
You should do it. Let me know.
I will. So what else is coming up for you? I know you're finishing up a new movie, right? With Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah, just finished that, and now kind of trying to figure out what the next one is.
And didn't you just had one with Katherine Heigl too, right? Unforgettable?
That just came out about, I don't know, I guess 3 months ago now. And so, yeah, it's like sort of like being an athlete. You're just constantly looking for the next job and training for that next thing.
That's cool. And I know it's probably a hard question to answer, but you've worked with some pretty amazing people. Who are some of like your favorite actors that you've been able to work with? But besides George,
Yeah, obviously.
We'll give George some credit.
Wow. There's so many. I've been lucky to work with a lot of great people, I think. There's an actor that I work with on a TV show called The Odd Couple, named Thomas Lennon, who I just think is one of the best, most talented dudes that I've ever worked with. I think Jennifer Aniston is incredibly talented. I got a chance to do just a tiny role on a movie called J. Edgar, and the Clint Eastwood directed, and I thought that's
cool.
That was awesome to be around. I mean, the list goes on. I'm always amazed at people's talent and their creativity and their passion. And it comes in all shapes and sizes.
Yeah, I mean, you've really worked with some incredible people, but you are equally as talented. I mean, you've always put amazing work out there, and we've always been a fan of your movies and your shows. So I know that, I'm personally excited to follow all of your work and everything that you're doing. So Geoff, what is the best way for people to follow you on social media so they can keep up with you and the triathlon training as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think probably just Instagram. I'm terrible at it, but it's just Geoff M. Stults. It's my name with my middle initial. And then I think that connects to my Twitter. But yeah, I'm pretty semi-active on Instagram. I like to entertain myself.
You have some pretty awesome pictures of your dog too. If you guys want to check out his dog as well.
That's pretty much what I do, is post pictures of my dog.
That's awesome. And then, Geoff, a closing question that I ask everybody, put you on the spot a little bit, but if you could give the audience just one piece of advice, maybe it was a piece of advice that helped you a lot in your health journey or with this whole new world of being a triathlete, but what would be the one piece of advice that you could give the audience that maybe helped you?
Ooh. This is something that I need to practice more than I preach, but stretching is the thing that will keep you going. It's more important than working out, I think, at times.
Yeah, definitely.
I think flexibility is the key, and it's something that I need to get on top of myself.
That's cool. That's awesome. No, that I totally agree as well. But Geoff, seriously, thank you so much for coming on. It really means a lot.
Absolutely.
Just taking the time to do this. And, man, I have to jump. I'm going to have to jump off here and start training.
Yeah, me too, by the way. It's so hot in LA right now. I'm going to wait till it gets a little cooler and then take the dog for a run.
Yeah, we should peer pressure Rebecca into doing the one in Miami too. That would be awesome.
Oh, absolutely, she should.
Yeah, well, I'll shoot her an email. We'll make it happen. Seriously, thank you so much for coming on.
All right. Well, thank you for your time. Have a great day.